There are 10 hidden truths that unlocks human consciousness. What are the benefits of this kind of knowledge? From these 10 truths, we know that you can activate certain points in your life using certain rituals, and then, like a seed in good soil, that will transform your reality in this current life. And when that reality is transformed, it then elevates your consciousness, expanding it beyond your general knowing. And then, if you continue practicing some of these 10 hidden truths that unlocks consciousness, you will forever expand your consciousness beyond the reach of perception. But what are the benefits? Why? The gift of unknowing is that we know that we spend our lives chasing answers. But what if the greatest freedom lies in releasing that chase and being free from that chase? And one of the greatest knowledge systems that you can come across is that the real creator is the question that unshackles us from guilt, from dogma, from the burden of being right, and then allows us to walk gently into that vastness of all things. I want to give a parable here of the map maker and the ocean. A map maker spent his life drawing charts of the ocean's edge, only to realize the shore was forever changing. On his deathbed, he bent all his maps and whispered, "The ocean was never meant to be held, only sailed." Let's go back. What are the benefits of knowing the 10 hidden truths that unlocks consciousness? While it's addressing these challenges, we realize mysteries. Because mystery does not mean nothing is true. It only means that truth is too alive to be caged. Let the gods of Nyunyu, the laws of nature, love, and justice guide your daily steps in discovering these 10 steps or 10 hidden truths that unlocks a consciousness. There are those that doubt, those that are anxious, those that are nihilistic. The real creator's indifference is not coldness. It's an invitation. You are free to create a meaning, not obey it. The universe is a loom. You are the weaver. And then the last one has to do with the rituals and those driven by ritual seekers. You need to redirect your devotion to actionable reverence. Pray with your hands, plant a tree, feed the hungry, or write poetry. These are hymns that Nyunyu understands very, very well. You can read our book, Free from God, Unveiling Spirituality that Breeds Wisdom, to rediscover where these 10 steps will lead you to the unknowable one, to the chasm, to the waters of Nyunyu, to the gods, to the ancestors in our universe. If you know the name of your God, and if you have an image of your God, what you know is wrong. And this matters most, because as long as you know he or she or it, that is not the real creator. Your consciousness then should be freed. Otherwise, yes, if your God has a name, you are an idolater. You are worshipping an idol. Because the real creator is nameless. And once you start to know that the real creator is nameless, you reach the point of no limits. And that point of no limits takes you to the unreachable horizon in your destiny. That's why knowing the divine limits limits your truth. It is important that these 10 truths should help you to capture the unreachable horizon. Chasing the unreachable horizon is actually elevating your consciousness beyond infinity. So that's the first point. The real creator is unknowable, forever beyond mental reach, even sublime thought. No one can visualize, no one can describe, no one can know, no one can teach another person about the real unknowable creator. It is a subjective issue that must be left at that. But the objective point then is to take us beyond infinity. Beyond the chasm. That's what we call beyond infinity. Number 2 factor is formless. The real creator is not a being, is not a spirit, is not an entity, is not anything that shape can define mathematical, scientifically, or any other means. Of the unknowable, our ancestors got a message from the divinities that I am the hidden one, the one who cannot be seen. I am the mysterious one, whose name is not known. No one knows. And then, if you know the name, that's the number 3 point. You have already limited the unlimited one. You have already reduced and reduced the unlimited one to fit your vocabulary, your imagination, your visualization, and you have already falsified and you are controlling it. You can't control the unlimited, unknowable, real creator. And there are those that say God is a spirit, and they say that those that worship him, gender, must worship him, gender, in spirit, entity. And in truth, John 4:24, that is for a deity, not for the real creator. And the deities are the only ones with all these names: Yahweh, El, Melech, Abba, Elohim, Adonai, Hashem, Ela, Avinu. All these are names. You mean you have it, you can control it. So your consciousness cannot be freed when you have got a name, because you've already limited it to a name. The real creator is not a being. Thus, he has no gender. He's beyond male or female. Gender is a creation, not the creator. Others tell us that Jesus was a male deity, and we know that Allah was a male deity. And we can show El, the source of Allah, the source of Yahweh, the source of Elohim, was a male deity. And we know that Christians worship a human being who was circumcised, if you read Luke 2:22. So the real creator cannot be like that. It's not even a male or a female deity. Number 5 point that can take your consciousness higher is that the creator, the term we are using, creator, is a misnomer. It's a gap filler. Real creator is nameless. So this phrase is substitutional, only for us to talk, to say something. Otherwise, when we reach it, that we should just keep quiet and proceed. But we need to communicate. Number 7 point is that the real creator did not create anything. Because number 6 fact tells us that the gods of Nyunyu, who self-generated themselves out of the all potential with all possibilities, created the universe, brought it into being, brought the universe into existence. These are the quantum soup, the waters of Nyunyu, the primordial source. So these self-born gods who created themselves out of the waters of Nyunyu, birthed existence. They rose up out of the waters of Nyunyu. They shall return to the waters of Nyunyu. That's where our battle of all potential and all possibilities lie. Because everything will go back to the primordial soup. We come to the point of worship. The real creator needs no human worship or praise or songs or fasting or tithes. You cannot love, fear, or praise that which is beyond knowing. You can only act within existence. Therefore, the unknowable one does not need our reverence at all. Don't waste your time. There's something that you need to know about that we shall review after we finish off these 10 critical points. We suffer because we have sinned. We have sinned against our ancestors, against nature, against neighbors, against friends, against ourselves, and against gods. That's what we have sinned against. You can sin against all these, but you can never, ever think of sin when it comes to real creator. That you can't sin against. So this liberates you and gives you your freedom. Now, when we look at the matter of honor, it is the point that we want to address now. Since you cannot worship the unknowable one, you have to honor the visible, the invisible, and the gone. You have to revere the gods, the ancestors, life, neighbors, and others, because they are Nyunyu's fleeting gifts to us. When we do that, then the real creator, who is the horizon, which we will never reach, we will have a life full of you full of zest and energy as we dance in Unu's music. And we can justly touch and honor the web of life that binds us all when we perform these rituals. So what's the point in knowing that the real creator is nameless? It goes beyond the Hazim Mkaha, that he has no form, is formless, that is nameless, that he is genderless, that we can't even use terms like the creator is a misnomer, that the gods of Unu, all potential, all possibilities created everything, and that everything begins and ends in the primordial source, that we cannot worship, we cannot sin against the real creator, and that we can only honor the visible. Because once we start to do that, there are ritual scripts like the wave and the spark, the dance of impermanence that liberates our souls. And when our souls are liberated through spirituality that frees consciousness, freedom from anthropomorphism, pre-mortem preparation while we are alive because we shall die, then we know that the divine spark is a shard from the real creator's infinity that is in the soul, like a raindrop from Unu's oceans, temporarily shaped by its fall and physical entombment in our flesh, whereon on death, like the drop may rejoin the ocean, the shard then must return beyond the cosmic dark, fully aware. That is the only key that will help you to escape dying in the ocean of all consciousness, which is the waters of Unu. So these 10 hidden truths will unlock your consciousness at that point of departure. And when we compare the liberation through dissolution, not union, which implies separation, we are saying that the divine sparks return to its origin via annihilation of individualism is your ritual or spiritual ritual formula for infinity. Because without that, then you are into dissolution. We used to call it entropy. So when we look at various teachings today, we look at the scientific. When they speak of human consciousness, they say it emerges from brain activity. But science grapples with consciousness as a biological mystery. They don't know anything about it. Whereas us, from a spiritual perspective, we know that it is a veiled spark of infinity. And once this is used to explain this eternal fragment of the unknowable, it means today you need to be liberated from the illusion of Mkaha or of matter, which science says it's cognition, it's perception, it's survival. The nature of our divine spark is that it's timeless, it's non-dual, it's infinite, it's in you, it's the kingdom of heaven in you. And science tells it's ephemeral, it's tied to biology. And then it says at its end, it ceases with brain death, while we say it has potential to dissolve into the real creator's void. We need that to be avoided. Other religions like Islam teach you to surrender this divine spark to Allah, who is Allah. Christianity teaches us that all these souls belong to Yahweh, whom they call God. Others, they sell their souls to the devil for a price of material wealth. And we are saying, in conclusion, to separate your divine spark, the eternal uncreated essence tied to the real creator, from your soul, the individuated consciousness shared by earthly experience after physical death, need practices today rooted in non-attachment, self-realization, and alignment with the Unu's primordial waters. As Marifado, we offer a structured path inspired by mystical traditions and our ancestral cosmology as given by the gods to succeed in this separation. These are the 10 steps that will liberate your consciousness and allow it to soar. I'm your manager Topi, Rabbi Mjaganja, the opener of portals, a member of Marifado Family Network, saying for more, subscribe and email us on lmdmizulu@marifado.org. You can also enroll into our Bantu University to study Bantu foundations, which will lead you to Bantu mysteries. Thank you for subscribing to our channel and for listening thus far. It is a wonderful time to be existing. Till we meet again, stay alert. Do not fall for dissolution. Amen.